In this video, we're going to take a look at some My Foolish Heart sheet music. And it's not just any sheet music. This is an actual transcription of some chords that I play underneath. So I've actually written out the entire sheet music. I'm going to post a link to it a little bit later, along with the backing track, so you can practice along with that sheet music. The thing that we're going to focus on in this video is what we call the leading tones or the inner voices. So essentially, leading tones means how do you move from one tone to the next, from one chord to the next, in the most efficient manner possible to make it sound great. And in terms of inner voices, how do you move certain inner voices to make that chord or that series of chords sound richer? And we're going to focus on major chords, minor chords, and dominant chords. So yes, you can use inner voices for all of those, and of course leading tones between them. And we're also going to take a look at 2/5s. For example, D minor 7 to G7, and how do you actually move the leading tones to get to the next chord. Okay, we're going to dive in and get started. A little bit later, I'm going to play the entire sheet music for you, and also a chorus of solo to kind of get you excited about the sheet music. Let's dive in and get started right away. And the first thing we're going to look at is this bar where we're going from 2 to 5 to 1 of C minor. So if we start from the beginning, try to remember that in this particular case, the bass note, which is down here, holds consistent. So it would sound something like this with the bass. So what's happening here? The answer is we've got 3, 5, 7, and 9 of D minor. And then all we're doing is we're taking the leading tones, which is the 5th of the chord and the 9th of the chord, and we're dropping them along with the 4th to the 3rd. So take the top 3 notes and move down a half step. It's a great sound. So what's happening here? Because we've got this note which drops, and then we're taking some leading tones to create this chord. So the first chord is essentially G major 7 over A. So just take 3, 5, 7, and 9 of G major 7 and put it over an A7. Right away, it's just a great sound. And then we can move some of the inner voices to create some dissonance. Just that one note makes all the difference. So we're switching from a G major 7 to a G minor major 7. And then we're changing the chord to A7, flat 9 with a sharp 5. So this is the sharp 5, and this is the flat 9. Okay, so this is A7, flat 9, sharp 5. So let's hear that whole progression now. Now, when I'm going to play the recording a little bit later, you'll probably hear me improvise a little bit on these sections. So it might not be exactly a dotted quarter note to eighth note. You may hear me play quarter notes or half notes or whatever, but the whole point is just to catch those leading tones. All right, let's move on to the next line. So we've got the D minor 7 chord. Interesting cluster going on there. If you take a D7 sharp 9 chord and take the top note and put it in the bass, you get this. One is quite a lot more dissonant than the other, even though it's the same chord. So here we have some inner voices working. Actually, it's the the lowest note here. It's going from G to G flat or F sharp, and then to F. But we're changing the chord here, so it holds. So that's an interesting thing. So in minor chords, the available notes are the 6th, the flat 7, and the 7th. So it's going to the 7th to the flat 7. But when we get there, we're changing the chord to D flat 7, and then we're putting an E flat triad over top to make an D flat 7 sharp 11 chord. So it's a great progression. That's one that I use quite a lot. So when we're going from F7 flat 9 here to B flat major 7 over here, we're starting off with a sus chord. So we've got 1, 4, and 7 in the left to make your F sus chord, and then the 9th and the 5th. So you're just moving these two notes, the 4th and the 9th, down a half step. And they're 6ths, right? So let's play that whole line. So the whole point of the inner voices and the leading tones is to keep the notes moving, keep the chords moving forward. Because if you just play the chords like half notes, there's not that forward movement. So let me play it without the leading tones. Now let me play it with the leading tones. Sounds so much better. I think that's it for this video. In the next one, we're going to take a look at the second half of the A section, and there's some more inner voices and leading tones over major chords and over minor chords and over dominant 7th chords. So what I'm going to do now is play this sheet music for you in its entirety, along with the chorus of solo, just to get you kind of excited about it. And I'm going to post the music along the top as it's going through. And then when I get back, I'm going to post a link to the sheet music that you can go and download along with the bass and drums backing track that you'll hear in the performance that I'm about to give. Okay, let me play it for you and we'll come right back. All right, there you go. That's My Foolish Heart, my version of it. And of course, the sheet music is going to contain all of the chords that I played in this rendition. So there's a link up here in the corner. Go grab the sheet music. It comes with the backing track as well. There's a small charge for it, but I think that's okay because it's just one of those things that it keeps us going with the channel, and your donation really helps us make more videos just like this one. Okay, thanks so much for your time. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And when you do, hit the little bell because you'll be notified of all the upcoming videos that we're making. And we're making quite a few of them. So thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I'm Paul Tobey. We'll see you in the next video.